Workers at the diplomat's residence are an unhappy lot. They claim that there have been cases of harassment that have even led some staff quitting. The workers say that they have reported the goings-on at the diplomat's residence in Runda to the diplomatic police unit. In their complaints, the staff claimed the diplomat had acted indecently towards them on diverse dates, and some had been forced to quit their employment after failing to withstand the offending overtures.
Mambo ya kututesa hata kasi nje, mambo ya kasi ya ndani, akileta watu huko, vijana huko, na ule kijana unaona kama huyo kijana maybe ni ndugu yako, maybe ni mtoto yako, una feel sorry, wanaanza kufanya tabia mbaya, unakuta kama vitu inaitwa kotom iko kwa nyumba na kuna msichana analeta hapo.
However, our efforts to get the statement from the embassy concerning the allegations did not bear fruits. Here, no one was ready to speak to us even after making several attempts. Although the complaints have formally been logged with the police, some of the staff members said they were not sure that action would be taken against the diplomat.
Sasa hiyo ndio naomba serikali kama ina uwezo itusaidie. Hii Ministry ya Foreign Affairs, siki tutafanya namna gani? Sisi wadogo tunyanyaswa na wakubwa, siki Kenya iko namna gani? Tuko na shida sana.
The staff working in this place have formally raised complaints on sexual harassment, and their only worry is whether justice will be found because of the diplomatic immunity. Elijah Mwangi, Citizen TV, Nairobi. Following a tip-off by a member of public that there was a ring of individuals printing fake seasonal parking tickets in this building, the City Council of Nairobi officers embarked on a mission to ambush the suspects. Witnesses say this room 101 situated within the city center is always closed, hiding underhand dealings that could be taking place there. It is only after knocking in a certain way that the door is opened. And today, when the knock was done, it was the proverbial 40 days for these suspects. It dawned on them that their days had indeed come. During the raid, the City Council officers were able to arrest 3 suspects in connection with the printing of fake seasonal parking tickets in Nairobi. Some fake certificates were also found during this crackdown. The City Council officers also confiscated the printing materials, which would serve as an exhibit in the court of law. It turned out to be a fruitful mission for the City Council of Nairobi after they arrested 3 people suspected to be producing fake seasonal tickets. Now the exercise serves as a warning to the illegal traders in town because the crackdown continues. Elijah Mwangi, Citizen TV, Nairobi. Behind me are students from Lenana School expressing their grievances in the language that they think the administration will understand best. The students held a demonstration along Gong Road over the death of a Form 2 student at the hands of a lorry driver last week. The student who was from the playing field met his death when he was hit by a lorry that was using a bypass in the school compound, a matter that has infuriated the students.
We are trying to air our grievances because we've lost a student, we've lost one of us, and we are done trying to negotiate with the administration, trying to negotiate with authorities through talking. We don't want to listen to them anymore. We want action, and that is why, to show them what action is, we have done action by ourselves.
Confirming the incident, the district commissioner from Dagoretti, Cornelius Wamalwa, assured the students that further action would be taken to ensure that their security in the school was guaranteed.
We've closed the road. We have a bypass next to the school. This is a road that has been running through the school, which is very unfortunate. It shouldn't be there in the first place. But a decision has been made. We have been with the board members, the PTA members, and we made a decision that that road be closed.
Though the students said it was a peaceful demonstration, police did not leave anything to chance. Security was beefed up along Gong Road during the demonstrations. The students who walked up to Dagoretti Corner returned to school peacefully after airing their grievances to the press. Elijah Mwangi for Power Breakfast News. Nobel Peace Laureate Miss Lima from Liberia in West Africa, who is on a 2-day visit in the country, held talks in Nairobi with women from the North Rift. The conference was meant to increase awareness of the available opportunities that are there in the new constitution for the women to take their leadership roles.
It's time for us to step out
While addressing the rural women PeaceNet from Eldoret, Ms. Lima urged the women to take their place in politics as well as in the nation-building activities.
Never work for recognition because they will evade you. Work because this is where my passion is. And it doesn't hide. When you see people who are passionate about what they do, it doesn't hide.
Ms. Lima, who insisted that the 2008 post-election violence in Kenya could have been avoided, called on Kenyans to embrace peace during the forthcoming elections.
Peace has no ethnicity, and peace has no borders.
And as the conference came to an end, the representative of Rural Women PeaceNet, Mary Chepkwony, took the chance to elaborate on the roles of women in leadership as stipulated in the new constitution.
And we are trying as women to make sure that when there is conflict in a region, those people who really suffered a lot are children and women. And that's what we are doing. We are trying to advocate for peace.
Elijah Mwangi for Power Breakfast News. Deputy Prime Minister Musalia Mudavadi held a consultative meeting this morning with the Archbishop of the Nairobi Diocese on the forthcoming elections. And the meeting was meant to answer the question on what the church should do to ensure that the forthcoming elections are free, fair and peaceful.
We have shared also with him what we have trying to do as the Catholic Church through the pastoral letter that we have written with regard to the elections, and also with regard to what we also intend to do still through the civic education.
The Deputy Prime Minister urged Kenyans to refrain from divisive politics.
I was able to spare some time to discuss with us. We are entering a very critical phase in our country's political cycle, and we want to make sure that we are consulting broadly and particularly with very, very important institutions.
Elijah Mwangi for Citizen at 1. The Kenya National Union of Teachers issued a 7-day strike notice to the Teacher Service Commission starting 21st August.
3rd of September 2012, the classrooms in Kenya, all classrooms, will be empty of teachers. No teacher will report for duty.
The union said that the salaries of the teachers have been paid, but their allowances have been ignored. Hence, they are not willing to negotiate further, but are demanding implementation. However, addressing the press after official opening of a workshop organized by International Labour Organization, COTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli said that the government should engage in negotiations in order to address the matter.
They will see which percentage, how they can strike a compromise and reach an amicable agreement. So the government should not wait until the last time.
In April this year, NAT had warned that teachers would down their tools unless the government started negotiations on the 300% pay hike agreed upon 15 years ago. Though the Kenya National Union of Teachers is not an affiliate of the Central Organization of Trade Unions, Mr. Francis Atwoli has, however, called on the government to address the issues raised by teachers to avoid the last-minute rush. Elijah Mwangi, Citizen TV, Nairobi. The Commission has now resorted to using the optical mark reader that uses a document scanning system in the voter registration process. This is a manual voter registration process, though Hassan disclosed that the Commission would hire more clerks and deploy large servers and other accessories for the purpose of cleaning the voter register and deter multiple registration of voters. IEBC will kick off the voter registration immediately after the by-election exercises in Kangema and Thiwa, scheduled for 17th September. Hassan in his statement said the 2010 voter register with 12.4 million voters is now valid, and those who had not registered or had not attained the voting age of 18 years will be allowed to register.
This cannot be a process where somebody can start planning rigging. It can't happen. We are simply preparing a voters register. The voting is yet to come.
Those who were registered in 2010 and would wish to be transferred from one polling station to another or to change their registration details will be allowed to effect the changes before the voters register is cleaned up and compiled afresh in readiness for the first general election slated for March 4th next year. The Institute of Education in Democracy, IED, supported IEBC decision to terminate the process of procuring the biometric voter registration kits.
We appeal to the IEBC and other stakeholders involved to recognize that time for holding the next general election is fast running out and the constitutional deadlines being stretched to the point of elasticity. As such, critical decisions such as the decision to revert to the manual registration process should be taken at once and political consensus developed over the same.
4 companies had been shortlisted in the race for the supply of the BVR kits that has now aborted.
And now the greatest task is left to the IEBC, which has opted for the manual voter registration process to ensure that the forthcoming elections are free, fair and peaceful. Elijah Mwangi, Citizen TV, Nairobi.